Favor, Part 16. Favor has a requirement. In Daniel chapter 1, verses 3 to 5, it says, Then the king ordered Ashpenaz, chief of his court officials, to bring into the king's service some of the Israelites from the royal family and the nobility. Young men without any physical defect, handsome, showing aptitude for every kind of learning, well-informed, quick to understand, and qualified to serve in the king's palace. He was to teach them the language and literature of the Babylonians. The king assigned them a daily amount of food and wine from the king's table. They were to be trained for 3 years, and after that, they were to enter the king's service. So it tells us that there were 4 men, Daniel was included, and they were handsome and they were smart. They were chosen to eat food and wine from the king's table, and they were to be taught for 3 years before going into the king's area and to start serving the king. In verses 8 to 10, it says, But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the official for permission not to defile himself in this way. Now God had caused the official to show favor and compassion to Daniel, but the official told Daniel, I am afraid of my lord the king, who has assigned your food and drink. Why should he see you looking worse than the other young men your age? The king would then have my head because of you. In order for Daniel to have the favor of the official, Daniel had to take a stand. Internally, he had to decide that he was not going to do this and eat from the king's table and drink the wine that the king wanted him to have. Not only did he internally say he wasn't going to do this, he spoke up and he asked for permission. In verses 11 to 14, it says, Daniel then said to the guard whom the chief official had appointed over Daniel, as well as Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, Please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance with that of the young men who eat the royal food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. So he agreed to this and tested them for 10 days. Daniel asked for 10 days to be tested, and the official agreed to it. Daniel did not just ask this favor for himself, he asked it for the 3 people that were with him as well, and they were also Israelites. In verses 15 to 17, at the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. So the guard took away their choice food and the wine, and they were to drink, and gave them vegetables instead. To these 4 young men, God gave knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning, and Daniel could understand visions and dreams of all kinds. So 10 days of testing turned into 3 years, because remember, they had to be tested, they had to be trained for 3 years to go in the king's area and serve the king. When we choose to take a stand for what is right, God sees that and God honors that. My encouraging scripture is going to be in Daniel chapter 1, and it's going to be verse 20, when they go before the king. In every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his whole kingdom.